Okay, so I hope everybody can see me. I'm going to share my screen. So this one is for lesson 3, homework 5, and I think this is the one that I'm supposed to do. So it says Ayala Architectures Incorporated as licensed architectures on April 1st, 2017. The business, these events and transactions occurred. So on April 1st, so the first thing you're going to do is go to the date, April 1st. Stockholders invested $22,410 in exchange for common stock of the corporation. So when that happens, you're going to debit for $22,410, and then you're going to credit the common stock for $22,410. Then it says on April 1st, secretary/receptionist at a salary of $467 per week, payable monthly. So we're not going to do anything because that's payable monthly, but we're still going to put the date of April 1st. And we're just going to leave it as no entry. We'll put 0 for the debit, no entry, because we haven't paid her yet because she's getting paid monthly. So the next one is April 2nd, and it says, paid the office rent for the month $1,120. So we're going to debit the rent, be the rent expense, and that's going to be $1,120. And then we're going to take it out of cash, which is credit the cash. Get this out so you guys can see. And the next one says for April 3rd, we purchased Ayala Architectures purchased architectural supplies on account from company. So these supplies were on account. So we're going to go down to April 3rd. And so if it's on account, we're going to, for the supplies, we're going to debit supplies for 16, 18. Then because it's on account, it's going to be accounts payable for the same amount. Okay, so April 10th is the next entry. 10th, we completed blueprints on a carport and billed the client for $2,365 for services. So these are for services completed for a blueprint. So for that, on April 10th, it's revenue service, so it's accounts receivable. Services that we did. Accounts receivable. And the amount is $2,365. And then since it's service revenue, that's what we're going to credit is the service revenue, the same amount of $2,365. On April 11th, we received cash of $871 advance from M. Johnson to design a new home. So April 11th. because we received cash, we're going to put it down as cash for the amount of $871. That's what we're going to debit. And then because it was for in advance, it's going to be an unearned service revenue for that same amount because we haven't performed the services yet. Then April 20th, we received $3,486 cash for services completed and delivered to S. Melvin. So for that one, it's going to go to cash again for the amount of $3,486. So let's go down to April 20th, put in our cash, 3,486. And then for that, it's service that's already done. So the service, it's already been completed. So it's service revenue. We're going to credit 86. The next transaction is April 30th, where we paid the receptionist that we had hired from April 1st for wage of $1,800 right here. So April 30th, we're going to put it under salaries and wages expense because we are paying her. So we're going to debit $1,868 for that. And then that's going to come out of cash. Oops. Going to come out cash. Credit 1868. The next transaction is also on April 30th. And it says we paid $373 to Birmingham Company for accounts payable that was due. And that was due April, it looks like April 3rd for the supplies. So for that entry, we're going to put accounts payable. We're going to debit the amount, which is $373. And we're going to credit to cash, because that's where we paid from, $373. So let's submit. Oh, I don't know why I did that. That was supposed to be for April 10th. It's supposed to be service. Sorry, service revenue. I didn't catch that. So let's try submit that again. I should have caught that. There's that one. So the second one is where we have to post it to the ledgers. So for cash, we go back up here, all these in the entry down there. So April 1st, cash was $22,410 that there was a debit. Go down there and put down so April 1st was our debit of $22,410. And to see if we can find the other cash. On April 11th is another cash that we have to debit for on April 11th for 871. So April 11th for one. Go back up there and find the next one, which right here is April 20th for 3,186. What did we say was April 20th? For $3,486. Back, let's see where, for the credit side, where we also find the cash. So cash, we find in the credit side, second, for $1,120. So let's put in April 2nd for $1,190. Where else did we credit the cash? We credited cash on, looks like, April 30th for both days, for both April 30th. The first one is from the salaries expense. We credited cash for $1,860. August 30th for C8, I'm sorry. And then the next one was also August 30th for $373. So if we sum that all up for 22,410 plus 871, 3,486 equals 26,767. But then we also need to subtract where we credited minus the 1,190, 1,868, and then minus 373, which gives us a total for the balance. We're going to put balance of 2336. Oops, 136. That makes sense. And we're going to do the same thing with all the other ones that we just did. Did I do this right? Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So the next one is the accounts receivable. So let's go look up and see where we have for accounts receivable. So accounts receivable, April 10th, we debited $2,365 for the accounts receivable. So let's go back down to April 10th for April 10th for 2,365. Only one that we have for accounts receivable. It's looking like it. Because that's service revenue. Yep. So that's accounts receivable. So the balance, we don't have anything else in there. So the balance came for 2365. The next one is supplies. So let's look up there and find supplies. So supplies, the only thing we had for supplies, and we debited 1618. So April 3rd for 1,600. 1,618. So that balance is going to be the same. Then the next one is accounts payable. It's the same thing. Accounts payable, we have for the supplies credited on April 3rd for the same amount. So let's go down and put for accounts payable. April, did we say it was April 3rd? Accounts payable, yes, April 3rd for 1618, the same amount as the supplies. Oops, let's take this one out because it's going to be on this side. So April 3rd, 1618. The balance will be the same for 1618. And then unearned service revenue is going to be on April 11th, and it was a credit for 871. April 11th. 11 or 871, and it's going to be the balance of the same one. The next one is the common stock, and common stock was at the very top. Common stock was April 1st for the 22,410 that we credit first, 22,410, and that's the only one that we have on there. So we're going to put the balance in of 22,410. Service revenue, there was a couple of them. Service revenue. So the very first service revenue was from April 10th. We credited for the amount of 2,300 for the service revenue. So that right here, service revenue, 65 on April 10th. So let's go down. I put in April 10th for a credit of 2365. And then the next one for the service revenue was on April 20th. This time also another credit for 3486. So the balance on that, we're going to add together 23. That gives us 5851. Now the next one is the salaries and wages. I think we only had one salaries and wages, and it's going to be on April 30th, and we debited 18. So on April 30th, we said we debited 18. Was it 18? I'm sorry, 18. Is that correct? Yep, 1868 we debited for April 30th for salaries and wages. So there's only one in there. So we're going to put the balance for 1868. And the last one is the rent expense. So the rent expense was right there, April 2nd, and it was a debit of $1,120. So April 2nd, $1,120. The balance on that would still be the same, $1,120. Everything we've added and totaled everything up to get to where we need to be. Let's submit. Oh, we missed something, or I missed something. What was the cash for the second? Cash for the second. was 1120. Sorry, didn't catch that one. So this is going to completely be different. So let's try that. 22,410 plus 871 plus 3486 equals 2676. And we're going to minus the 11 minus the 1868 and then minus 73, which gives us a completely different total of 23,406. Did I miss an accounts payable? It looks like I did. So was there a credit, a debit to accounts payable? Yes, there was. The 373 right on the bottom. I missed that one. So April 30th for 373, a debit. I think maybe I went too fast. So it's 1618 subtract 373 is going to give you 1245. Looks good. Let's try submit it again. See if we go back up. That was the first one. This is the next one. Looks good. Now we've got to do a trial balance. So we're going to prepare a trial balance on April 30th for Ayala Constructions. So for that, it's going to be for the month ending. And for the debit, we're going to put in cash and wherever the amount of the cash was, which if we look up here, cash is going to be 23,406 debit. Then your next one is going to be accounts receivable. So let's look at up above where the accounts receivable was also a debit of 2365. And then the next one, I believe, is your supplies. Let's double check. The next one is supplies, and it's also a debit, 1618. And then the next subtitle going to be accounts payable, but that's a credit of 1245. So accounts payable. Payable. 1245. And then the next one after accounts payable, we go up here again. It's going to be your unearned service revenue. So it's going to be a credit, 871. Unearned service revenue, 871. Up again, your common stock, another credit of 22,410. So common stock, I'm going to type it in here. 22,410. Then after common stock, it says service revenue. The service revenue was also, looks like, so 5851 is what it says. Okay, that should be your salaries and wage expense for a debit of 1868. 1868. And the last one, expense, I believe. All right. Yes, for 11, debit for 1120. So if you add everything up for each line, 23,406, 65, 16, 18, plus 18, 68, plus 1120, you're going to get 30,377. Same on the other side. So 1245 plus 871 plus 22,410 plus 5851 is going to be 30,377. Everything. Submit your answer. Put it in wrong. Let's try. Sorry. It was right except for that one. There we go. So it would, didn't mean to put that, but it was supposed to be April. Should have just the last month, should say April 30th, 2017. So I hope this was helpful. I struggled through it. I wanted to do it on the Excel first before I did it on this, and apparently I still struggled. But hopefully this was very helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. All right, guys, have a good night. The fuck? Oh my gosh. I don't know.